Hi, this is Larry with Yacht Masters. Wanted to talk a little bit today about after you buy your boat. There are folks that are experienced at boating and have a good plan for how they're going to transport their boat, their route, how long it'll take them to get to their destination. There are folks that are just getting into boating, less experienced folks who maybe should get a little bit of more knowledge about how long it takes to go somewhere. And I think that's where we see folks sometimes maybe have a little of an ambitious schedule about, I'm going to take my boat 500 miles and probably take me about a week. Well, that'd be a tough week. Um, so if you're going to be actually moving the boat on its own bottom, particularly if it's a displacement type boat, such as a trawler or a sailboat, you're doing about 10 knots. And if you get 5 or 6 hours underway, you're doing good. You got to get up in the morning, get ready to go, get your breakfast. So it's an hour or more after daylight. Then you got to get where you're going. And you want to be there a good hour or so previous to get your anchor down, check in at the marina. So if you're getting 6 or 8 hours of travel at 10 knots, then you're going to make 60 or 80 miles, obviously. But even that's a little ambitious because there are slower areas and there are, you might want to pull over and see something on the way. It's not a destination, it's a journey when you're buying a boat. So if you're moving the boat on its own bottom, we like to recommend, think in terms of 50-mile legs. 50 miles is a good journey. You might get a little more. Maybe you want to do a little less. You're going to look at your charts. You're going to look at information about the route you're taking and maybe plan to stay at this marina or this secluded anchorage. The other thing about experienced boaters is they're not so definite on their plans. You talk to somebody who's been around and done this before and say, where are you headed? They'll say south. So, and that's kind of part of the boating experience. So again, it's the journey that counts. If you're buying a boat and you don't have the time to move it, that'd be unfortunate because there are such enjoyable things to experience by moving your own boat. And you could even break a journey on to a couple of legs. Let's say you're going to Pensacola from our area here in East Central Florida. Well, using 50 miles a day, you're probably talking 600 miles. So that's a good 6 days with a couple of lay days. So there's 8. Plan 10, maybe 2 weeks. But if you can't take 2 weeks off and devote that to this boat journey, then take it down to Lake Okeechobee and stay at a marina down there. Go to the Clewiston Inn and eat fried chicken. That's kind of a famous thing to do down there. But whichever way you're going, if you're going north up the coast or whatever, you can always lay over the boat at a marina or at a place for a week or a month, come back and continue the journey another time. So there are many options for you. Trailering boats, there's another whole aspect of boating which many people enjoy. But you got to put some good thought into that because trailering has inherent problems. It's a little bit difficult sometimes to get in the launch place you want to be, in Marathon in the Keys, for instance, and you find there's 10 boats in front of you. This happens more often when you're picking the boat up. The storm's coming or it's late in the day, so you want to try to schedule your activities maybe around the less popular times. You might also consider having the boat professionally moved. Trailering is not only difficult because of the logistics of putting the boat in, getting it out, parking your rig. It also involves maintaining a trailer for a period of time, and there's an expense involved in that. Where does it set when you're not using it? There's a fee for that. The maintenance of a trailer is just as important as the maintenance of your boat. You've got to check your brakes, you've got to check your lights, you've got to do different things. So you need to seriously look at the cost of a trailer. And if you're not going to use it more than 2 or 3 times a year, you might consider a professional move. A professional hauler can move your boat to a destination, even if it costs you $1,000. If you do it twice a year, that $2,000 might save you money over the cost of maintaining a trailer for a year. It'll certainly save you a lot of time and effort. So there's different ways to look at both owning a boat and trailering it, or taking on its own bottom. These are things that we're happy to share with you with our experience. And we hope you would call on us anytime for further information about this, or talk about some of our boats and see if we can be of service. So please feel free, call us. We hope to talk to you and be of service.